Yes, people, welcome back to Albert JTV for a Sunday night late night match review. A message to Commissioner Richard Keys. Are we allowed to celebrate this win? But before we get into it, people, let's smash the intro. Footballing community, you should know what to do by now. Like, share, and subscribe. Welcome back to Albert JTV. Social media platform. Know what you're talking about. And what I mean by that is goals, ESR and Saka have done well. They've done okay. They've done well. Yes, people, and welcome back to Albert JTV. Red carpet, Emirates Stadium, a nice 3-2 victory against the mighty Reds of Liverpool. As I say, making a statement. Statement has been my favorite word for the last few years because this early part of the season, there's been a lot of talk that Arsenal haven't played anyone yet, people, Arsenal community. That's a different story it's amazing what 2 weeks of football can do in it. But people, obliterate the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And as you can see, I've got my Arsenal brother joining me tonight for this match review. RJ, welcome back to Albert JTV. It might sound like a stupid question, but how are you feeling, bro?
I don't know. Richard Keys might be listening. I got I'm okay. Chilled. It's not like we didn't beat one of the most dominating teams in Europe over the last 5-7 years. But I mean, I'm okay. How are you?
Fantastic. Yeah, I'm fantastic, man. It's been I said it a few weeks ago, bro. Like and not even just a few weeks ago, like the last few seasons, at home and away, but particularly away from home, when we play against the big sides, it's about time we started winning these games. There's a lot of mental fragility when it comes to taking on Liverpool. I don't know what it is. The record before today, I think 2 wins in 14. I knew the record was bad, but I didn't realize it was that bad. But I actually thought Arsenal would sneak it today. If people want to, I'm not just saying that because we won. If people watch my content or see me on the socials, I did say Arsenal would beat Tottenham, we'd beat Liverpool. And we have done that back to back. So, mate, I'm buzzing. As you saw from my match reaction, I was all over the place. I don't even know how I managed to get even a 30-second little clip out there. But you know what it is, bruv? It's I had this conversation with you before, and anyone that knows me, big up to people in the chat when you do arrive, by the way. But don't get me wrong, beating Tottenham is always a plus point, whatever time of the season it is. Back in the day when the battles with United, but for me personally, and I'll go out publicly and say this, beating Liverpool means everything. It absolutely does, and it really wrangles me when we've had the beatings we've had and the defeats we've had, and to win today was massive, making a statement win, man, 100%. So yeah, I'm more than happy, to be honest with you. And but let's get into the game before we get too far into it, man. I'm going to be talking for about 10 hours. But people, audio listeners, this will be out later, so do not worry. You will hear me and the brothers' dulcet tones, man. African and Caribbean. Enjoy it together, people, man. But yeah, RJ, coming to you, man. Sort of straight away from the team lineup, really. A few eyebrows raised. I don't think in a negative way when we saw Tomiyasu was in. But then instantly I thought, all right, he's playing left back. But so what are your thoughts about the team lineup? And obviously the main talking point really is Tomiyasu coming in. What was your thoughts?
Well, the team lineup really did surprise me seeing Tomiyasu coming in at left back. But once I was watching Mikel Arteta talk with Jeff Shreves, and they were asking what's the thinking behind that team on the bench, Zinchenko out, Zinchenko muscular injury. It is frustrating, but it is what it is. At least we have the options. But also, there is something I think it was Martin Tyler and Gary Neville did mention, and I didn't really think about this as the game went on. Tomiyasu, let's think about it, the way he is, because he is a very defensive player. Now, when we think about who's on that side, And yes, it's been a form, but we cannot take anyone for granted. It was actually a very smart decision, and we're probably going to get into Tomiyasu's performance a little bit later, but I thought he was genius after that, you know?
There's a little feedback on your mic when you're speaking, just a tiny bit, just a tiny little bit. So you might want to adjust it a tiny bit.
I might turn it off. But I might just turn it off. But yeah, I just thought it was a very smart decision. I was kind of thinking, but thinking about Tierney bombs forward, Zinchenko bombs forward. Tomiyasu tends to bomb forward, but again, he's more defensive minded compared to more so Zinchenko. So
yeah,
I was okay with it. I just wanted to see how it went.
Yeah, man. I wasn't generally too worried, to be honest with you, because defensively, he gives us a stability, not just from an aerial point of view. But listen, I mean, you know what? You know what I mean? Left back is not his position, but the performance he put in, we'll talk about other players, obviously, about the game. But I thought, under the radar, I thought he was excellent. I thought he marshaled Salah fantastically. I don't really remember him getting caught out too many times during the game. Like I said, defensively and even offensively, gives us something a little bit, and he will continue, and he will more when he maybe does play more at right back this season, or he might even come in as a centre back at some points this season. Who knows? But yeah, I thought he was brilliant, man. So we'll come into the game. The first off, so what a start. Firstly, I've moaned about years upon years about Arsenal not starting games very, very well, but you can't start better than 58 seconds in, man. And let's not go under the radar again. Erdegaard, brilliant assist, and great finish by Martinelli. So what did you make of the start, man?
I mean, I barely got to say anything. Literally, I just sat down. All I saw was Martinelli doing what he does best. Martinelli and this one. I'm like, what the hell was that? My mum was like, why are you shouting? I'm like, you need to see this. It was crazy. What a start. What a brilliant start. And, you just said it yourself. For years we've been talking about Arsenal don't start off games very well. And recently it's been amazing. And this is such a game where we'd be judged on, because apparently we ain't paid anybody. Tottenham aren't anybody. We always beat them at home, innit? But, that's just normal standard procedures when it comes to Tottenham at home. But to do that against Liverpool, and it's just amazing. I don't know. Martinelli, man, we knew we had to really put pressure on Trent. And if you remember, I can't remember which game it was last season when we played Liverpool. I think it was either in the League Cup or in the league at home. But Martinelli was putting a lot of pressure on Trent. And it just, the second half, Trent kind of woke up to it. But Trent couldn't get a sniff. Martinelli was absolutely electric throughout the whole game. But what a start. What a start.
I'll tell you what, go back out and come back in, and just so that your sound's just coming a little bit crackly still through my end anyway. But go back out and come back in, and hopefully I'll hold the fort, man. Don't worry, man.
All right, 2 seconds.
Oh dear. But yes, people, man. What a start. 58 seconds in. If you could have, for those who were sort of having their thoughts before the games and score predictions and how they thought the lineups would set up, and that was Liverpool who started with Diaz and Nunez and Salah. They went out. They fully went out to try and sort of take the ball by the horns to Arsenal. But when you start a game and you score within 58 seconds at home against a team where your record isn't particularly very good, like I said, 2 wins in 14 before today. What a fabulous, fabulous start. And for that first 5 minutes, I thought Arsenal were electric. And they could have got a couple more, to be honest with you. But let me bring RJ back in to make a difference. RJ, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
That's better. That's a million times better, bro.
I don't know what happened there.
I don't want audio listeners, when they listen back, to think, what the hell is going on when you're talking, bro?
It's Richard Keys, man. It's Richard Keys, man. You heard us celebrating. He's got tabs on StreamYard.
Yeah, but I was saying before you came back on that
Right.
like people's thoughts probably before the game about playing Liverpool, and as we spoke before we came live, 2 wins in 14, now 3 and 15 against them. But if you to start a game scoring within 58 seconds against a team that are very, very, and they demonstrated in terms of how they play through their midfield is excellent. Thiago, we started that first 5 minutes, we blitzed them. We really, really was on fire. But sort of 10, 15 minutes in for about 20, 30 minutes, for me, 20, 25 minute period, Liverpool, they really dominated. The way they passed through the midfield, Thiago and Henderson were controlling it, particularly Thiago spraying passes. And we were not winning first balls. We weren't winning second balls either. And it was tough for a bit, but we hung in there, man. Just to get your thoughts on that, and also to get the second goal, the Saka goal, and to be honest, it's a great goal from our point of view anyway, in terms of the Jesus to I think it was Martinelli makes the run, I believe it was. And
I didn't get that.
Oh,
could you try again?
Oh, here we go. Come through. How was that happen? What's going on? But anyway, apologies, people. I think Suri's come through to the stream as well, man. Even they're excited about Arsenal, but yeah, we sucker punched them, man. And to go in at halftime 2-1, I thought was an absolute steal, because I thought with about 5 minutes to go in the first half, even I was thinking, I don't know what your thoughts were. Arsenal need to get in a halftime here, because this game we could concede again here if we're not careful. What was your thoughts, my friend?
100% agree with you on that. I felt after the goal we conceded, I was kind of worried, and again, like you said, there was that period Liverpool
dominated, big time.
Dominated, and to be honest, this reminded me, and I was even saying this to a few friends of mine who were also Arsenal supporters. This reminded me a little bit of Tottenham, because in terms of, there were times where I feel like we really want to impose our game on the opponents, but sometimes we misplace passes, it gets sloppy, and we make the wrong run sometimes. And I feel it's a lot of anxiety within us, and I feel like sometimes that's something we need to do. If anything, I was screaming, yeah, we need half time now.
Yeah, big time.
Because Liverpool are dominating now. We have allowed them back into the game. And I felt like, if anything, Arteta needs to rein them in and just be like, look, everybody relax, calm down. Like, we had them, and then we allowed them back in the game. Because let's face it, they were giving us a lot of spaces in behind as well. So that's something we needed to work on. But getting to the goal, I thought that was a great build-up. I love the way on the counter-attack, Gabriel was going up. I'm thinking, what's he doing?
I couldn't believe it.
And this is the one thing, and I even said, I think we spoke about this on the last match reaction we done with Gabriel. Now, I know a couple people kind of look at him at fault for the goal we conceded, because he was kind of out of position. He tried to stretch for it, but his foot kind of put, I think it might have been Nunes in onside, if anything, and then Jota, and we know the rest. But because he's so on, I need to repay you, he made that run, and then obviously the way he just dummied it, it's like, I don't know if you saw Saka, but fantastic, man. And we needed that. We definitely needed that, because it was all walking on eggshells going into halftime, if I'm totally honest with you. But great, man. Fantastic. And I'm glad Saka got it as well. Yeah,
100%. I mean, I think with you're right, actually. When I watched the break, I thought, what's Gabriel doing that far forward? I was like, what's going on? But listen, we broke them, we counter punched them, we sucker punched them. Like I said, to go in a halftime 2-1 was it was a steal. To go in at 1-1 would have been all right, because the way the game was going, and like I said, but you made a good point actually, because even when Arsenal did kind of string it together, we was very, very dangerous in our final third. There was just an odd occasion where we might not have been picking the wrong pass. We were picking the wrong pass, or we was overrunning it in terms of Martinelli maybe holding it a bit too long, and just not playing that incisive pass or taking the shot. But we was very, very final third, very, very threatening. And I've not said that about Arsenal for a long time in a run, a sequence of games, which we've had this season. What was that? 9 Premier League games now after today. to be fair, sort of coming through in the second half now. We actually started all right. We started pretty brightly. Martinelli, I don't know I don't know what energy supplies he was taking at half time or just before, but he came out. He was giving their fullbacks, whether it was Trent in the first half or even Gomez in the second half. He was excellent. So on the money, and we started well. And again, Liverpool got back into the game like 53 minutes. So yeah, just I'm trying to think of the goal now in my head. I still thought we had a lot to do, but to be fair play to me, finished it well for me now. But yeah, what is that? Just a great bit of play by Liverpool? Or would you like? Was there things you thought Arsenal could have done better to prevent that?
I think we fell asleep. If I'm honest, I just feel like for a second there, and I'm not taking any away from Liverpool in that goal, because that was a good goal. It's funny. That's something we'd see Arsenal usually do, you know, in terms of picking that pass in, slipping it through the defense for someone to run around and score it. You know, it's funny. It reminds me of a goal. Yeah, it reminds me of a goal from usually what we do. But I think we just fell asleep there. We took our eyes off the pedal. But I will say this: what impressed me the most about the us conceding is the fact that the fans just got behind them. The fans just got behind them. We just said, "Oh, keep going, come on, head up," and we just stuck by them. Just like when we conceded the first goal and that goal especially. But you know, it just says to me, like I said, coming into this game, no matter how bad Liverpool have been,
They'll step
you know,
up
compared to usually are, we cannot take this for granted. Because all week I'm saying, I'm hearing Liverpool, we're going to slap them, this, that, and the third, 3-0, 4-0. I'm thinking, you guys are crazy. This is Liverpool, regardless of how poor they are. Let's really think about this, guys.
Yeah.
And you saw them turn on the quality when needed, you know. So yeah, I just think it's just one of them things where we just got caught out, you know. And that's something that's something we really, really need to work on.
Yeah,
because we are the errors of our own mistakes at times. But you know,
100%. Yeah, firstly, big up to the guys in the chat. If you haven't already, smash the like button. Thank you for your interaction. And yeah, I know most of you guys in the chat have subscribed to the channel, so it's very much appreciated. And obviously, come follow my boy RJ Wills on his Twitter handle and subscribe to his channel as well, people. But yeah, I mean, firstly, we've got to sort of talk about the game generally. Yeah, what a game of football. Fantastic. There's always goals in this game. I did think Arsenal would nick it. Martinelli, like I said, started the second half like a house on fire. He did last week against Spurs. I mean, I saw a stat, RJ. I don't know, you might be aware of this. He's been involved in 8 goal involvements in, I think, is it the last 7 league games at the Emirates or 7 games at the Emirates. Martinelli, yeah.
I didn't even know that. That's
yeah. I know, it's mad when you break it down in terms of big up to the people that do it. Because I wasn't even aware of that. But yeah, like I said, with Martinelli, for me, I said this at the start of the season. I think for me, with him, it's all about his goals return this season. The talent's there, the skill is there. You see what he gives us in terms of energy, in terms of pace. He can finish. He assists. Like I said, I just pulled up the stat there just a minute ago. I can see why judges loved him, to be honest, because I'm fighting to find it in love. He's brilliant, RJ. Like and even when we saw in the All or Nothing documentary, when I think Steve Round was talking about him, he said, "I love the kid. Absolutely love. He's training. He's a dream, and the rest of it. He's only 21.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
21, 22,
it's mad. Yeah, he's exceptional. But yeah, you're right, man. I think in terms of the goals we're conceding. I mean, if we look at the Nunes one in the first half, Gabriel, he got himself into that position where he's not in a great position. Even the pass by Trent in the first half wasn't a great pass, but and when that ball went out to I can't think if Diaz that crossed it, I'm not sure. I could see Gabriel's not going to make that back in the center. He's not. He's gone. He's not going to make that back. So and in the second, there's the times in the second half where he got himself into positions where he's just be front facing, but get your body position right. And that's something you can easily work on. But listen, Arsenal, like I said, even in the second half, RJ, coming back to you, they found some really, really good moments in the final third, man. I think Xhaka got into good areas. Martinelli got into good areas and kept the width. Saka had another good game for me personally. I think the last 3 games he's really, really stepped up. But yeah, how are you with Arsenal in terms of what you've seen, not just in today's game, but from an attacking point of view, whether it be the front 3 or the front four, as you class it? How have you seen? What's impressed you the most?
Do you know what? Before I even answer that, do you remember when we were all saying we can't hit anything in here in a barn door? All that saying. Do you remember? We were slacking, we were moaning, we couldn't score goals. It just looks completely different. It's just like,
it's chalk and cheese.
Oh God.
Keep talking, Arj. Keep talking. Because
it's a breath of fresh air, man.
What are we? I think that's Arj. I think this was that 23, 24 goals scored. Is it already now?
Wow. Yeah, I know. I think it's 23.
Yeah,
I think it's 23. I know we're 10 goals behind Man City. Yeah. But look, that's the standards. You know, we were moaning, like I just said, about we ain't scoring enough goals. When you see that front 3 with Martinelli, Saka, and Jesus, you know you're going to get goals. And what's even more impressive is the fact that, like you even said, with Granit Xhaka even having the chances, that volley he had, like I was gutted. I was so gutted. I just thought
he was going to bang it.
I was like, damn, what the hell? You know, we keep talking about this resurgence of Xhaka. You know, and it's wonderful to see. Now we look dangerous on the counter. Now there's goals in us, you know. And you said it yourself about Martinelli. We just looked at it like, oh yeah, he just needs some goals, because we said the same thing about Saka. And you know, Saka's been doing his thing under the radar. Look at Bukayo today, you know.
2 goals, man. Yeah,
it's just fantastic, man. It's just fantastic to see, and they're young as well. This is what makes me smile the most, is that they're young and they're talented. Hell, they even, do you know what I mean? We got this for a very long time. And it just shows how exciting it is going forward. So I can't be even more ecstatic than I am right now, you know?
Yeah, and I think, you know what? And another good thing is we've watched a game of football where, I mean, Liverpool fans might argue, where the referee wasn't a talking point. I've not heard a lot of noise about that. So yeah, that sort of comes to the point. That sort of comes to the penalty decision. Now, I'm going to say something right now. People are going to think, oh, because we're Arsenal fans, you know, it's definite pen. That's not the point I'm making. For anyone that's watched most of the games in Premier League this season, maybe even last season, and you see penalty decisions that are not given,
exactly,
you'd be like, this is crazy. I was concerned in the first half because I thought it was going to be given. So I was actually quite surprised when the handball with Gabriel people, and you know, thought, oh, they're going to review it, but they actually didn't even go and review it. He didn't get sent to the monitor, Michael Oliver. So I was actually quite surprised. I thought that was going to be given. So yeah, when I see the Liverpool maybe fans or Klopp was talking about it, it was a foul. Now you can sit here and talk about it as a soft penalty. Would you say it's a soft free kick if it was in the halfway line? You wouldn't say that. You just said it's a free kick. Why is it a soft penalty because it got given as a penalty? It's a foul. Yeah. And the thing is, even I remember this season, went to the home game against Leicester. We had a stonewall penalty, RJ. Stonewall penalty with Ndidi on Jesus. Not even the referee was even sent to the monitor.
Yep. So, I remember that.
Listen, I understand from a point of view, Liverpool fans are Klopp, and you know, you lost a big game of football, you got a good record against Arsenal, but if you're going to turn around and say to me it wasn't a penalty or it was a soft penalty, I'm going to be honest, I don't have any sympathy.
No, because we've been seeing Liverpool have a lot of decisions go their way. And, you know, I remember years ago, this was like 2-3 years ago, I remember a game at Anfield. I think it was Leicester versus, actually, I've got another point as well. It was Leicester versus Liverpool. And I remember Mane just went down like he got shot by a sniper. And like, I think Maddison moved his leg away and they gave it a penalty. I was like, he didn't even touch it.
I remember, it's crazy. It's at Anfield, yeah.
And, you know, that happened. And if we want to talk about soft, let's talk about when we played Manchester United at Old Trafford. And, you know,
perfect example.
Great goal it was. But no, the you even heard the commentators, I think it was Gary Neville, you said that was a bit soft, but they ruled it out. So, you got to make it make sense. I mean, let's be real. Like, that's a penalty. If that happened to Liverpool, they wouldn't be saying anything.
Exactly.
So we know what it is, man. It's just the fact that you lost. You didn't play well. You haven't been playing well at all. If anything, today was probably the best game you played this season. If we're going to be totally honest with each other right now. So you just got to hold it and accept it. Do you know what I mean? Because if it's us, everyone's laughing at us. We're all going to be all over social media. Oh, Arsenal, ha, 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 whatever. You know what I mean? So just nonsense, man.
Yeah, the second half, Arsenal were brilliant. Yes, we had moments in the game. I think people need to remember as well. Like, I know Liverpool. I think that's Liverpool's. I think they've lost now. That's today. Their first 4 away defeats in the Premier League since Hodgson days. Away games, 4 in a row.
Who did they lose to? Manchester United, Arsenal. Who else they lost to?
I think it is 4. I think it is 4. I think I saw a stat. I saw a stat in the preview. Big up my guy Doug, Liverpool fan who came on my channel the other day. Doug, love to you, bro. Yeah, Doug, I know you called it. You did say you thought Doug said it, to be fair, and he's a Liverpool fan. He's not going to come and, like he said, look, I think Arsenal beat Liverpool. Doug, love to you, bro. Yeah, Doug, listen, man. I said to you, RJ knows, and I always look at. I know when the conversation comes about Arsenal in terms of when we lose games that we should be winning, and beating the likes of the Fulhams and the Brightons and the Bournemouths. But for me, it's bigger than that. Yeah, you want to win in games, but as I say, now I'm going to keep on hammering. I'm going to keep on hammering it home until I see Arsenal as a football club go to some of these grounds and come away with points, or draws, or wins. Our records, we suffered for so many years, particularly away from home, where our record is just horrendous against some of the other big clubs, which is not great. So, but when we get them at home, listen, it's a home game today. Today was a massive, massive win. And just because, we beat Spurs the previous week, we've had a good start to the season, but these are the kind of results that make people sit up and take notice, because they might go before, Arsenal been on a good run, they're playing well, the football's great, but you go and beat a Liverpool at home. And bear in mind, Liverpool have only lost 1 game, I think, after conceding the goal first. That's United.
Yep.
They haven't lost any other games.
And let's be real, they were very lucky when they were very lucky with them draws as well. Brighton. Let's be real about that.
Yeah.
So
it's true. But yeah, so we're coming to you, mate. Yeah, how significant for you is this win today, short term and long term?
Well, it's funny because I was watching an interview with Ben White with Constable Keys's station.
I saw it. You sent it. I saw it. I did watch it. I did see it. Yeah.
Right, and the interviewer asked about playing Liverpool and how we did last year and what it's like. What's different is it's about playing with no fear, and it's true. But Ben White said it's a year later from what happened last year.
Good point. Yeah.
So the thing is, when we're playing these teams, and I always say this, we've got to play it 1 game at a time. We were very unlucky with Manchester United. We played well, but things happened, didn't it? Do you know what I mean? Tottenham, well, ask them, innit? That's all I'm gonna say. But other than that, I just felt like this game should really, really have people looking at Arsenal like, okay.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
It's about bringing the bloody respect back. For so many years, we've been getting dragged through the mud, and sometimes it's deservedly so. Let's be real, as Arsenal fans, sometimes when we've been playing bad or we've been shocking, some people hide. Some people don't want to admit it. If we're going to be totally honest, some people, not all, but what we're seeing now and the improvement, this should really kickstart our season. I mean, our season's been great so far, top of the table and that. We know City are more than likely gonna win the league. I mean, it hurts to say that, but let's be real. I mean, you got guys like Haaland and Kevin De Bruyne. I mean, geez, it's going to be tough, but it's bring back respect to Arsenal, and that's one thing I think we've all could say that we're mostly proud of, even a little bit last season as well, if we're totally honest. But yeah, this win, it's definitely a step in the right direction going forward for Arsenal, and everybody else has just got to look out for us, just one game at a time, and that's what Martinelli said in his interview as well. We just got to take it one game at a time.
Yeah,
we do that. Who knows? Hopefully by January and after this difficult run in October, who knows? Who knows where we will be? Hopefully still in and around the top four. Maybe, hopefully first, but we'll see.
We'll see. Because, you're right. We have to take it in blocks and stages because you need to get to a point where it's the turn of the year, and then you can really see where Arsenal are in the league. To be honest with you, and you make a good point when you sent me the interview with Ben White in terms of saying it's a year later. It's right because if you look at, and I made this point a few weeks ago in terms of if you look at the average ages of the clubs in the Premier League, and I think Arsenal, I think it's about 24.6, just say 20, 24, 25. Like, so I think Liverpool's about 29, I think Tottenham's 27, City's about, I think it's 28. I think I have to double check that, but that's giving away a good 2-3 years of experience and quality and squad. That's massive. So Ben White's point was very, very relevant. It's another year on. It's another year for this team to be together. And like I said, I mentioned it earlier in terms of Arsenal when we played this fixture against Liverpool. There's been a major mental fragility there, which has been. It's been tough. It wrangles, man. Like, so that's why for me, winning today is massive, absolutely massive. And you make a great point, man. Like, for those people that maybe have already taken up and sitting up and taken notes of Arsenal, say, look, something's a bit different about this club. Today's result will cement that 1,000,000%, because Liverpool are no mugs. Liverpool have been cherished and worshipped by pundits that have never even played for Liverpool. They're worshipped and cherished by most pundits or ex-pros. They are. We see it every week for the last 2, 3, 4 years. The one thing I was really shocked about, actually, I tweeted it earlier today, people in the chat, and Arsenal community in general, with on the BBC Sport website. Chris Sutton does the score predictions for the Premier League. And he had Arsenal down to win 4-1. I had to look twice. I said, what?
I mean,
Chris Sutton.
We could have done that. Let's be real. I mean, if we took some chances and certain things didn't happen, maybe.
No, you know what? You make a good point, because as much as I get it, look, I'm not blind as an Arsenal fan to say that Liverpool points were excellent today, particularly in the midfield area. But if you look at it from an Arsenal point of view, like I said, particularly in the final third of the pitch, we got into some very, very good areas, and if we'd have converted, it could have been that kind of score, because, like I said, we started the game like a house on fire. I thought Partey got a lot more control in the second half. I thought he was really, really, really stepped up. Big shout out to Ben White, man. I tell you, listen,
another excellent performance. Come on.
And RJ, the thing is, I'm gonna come back to you actually, particularly about Ben White. I did say it. I can't remember when I said it. I said I'll stick my neck out on the line for Ben White. Because I think the thing that really bothered me in the sort of the analysis of him, and I'll choose my words very, very carefully. I think the thing that disappoints me with sections of the fan base, and I always use the keyword sections, RJ, is when you're ridiculing one of your own players is bad enough. When you're doing it to a guy that's just come to the club, this is his second season at Arsenal Football Club. Second season at Arsenal Football Club. You need to look at this boy's performances in the first couple of months, and you need to give your head a wobble. You really, really do. Because you want to sit there and criticize the national team and the defenders that are being picked and whatever, you'll be the first to be tweeting saying, why is Ben White not there? But then you're not backing him when he plays for our club, when we play week in, week out. Make it make sense, bro. So coming to listen, I could talk about Ben White all day. It doesn't phase me. But yeah, come in, bro. What's your thoughts?
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I mean, I think a lot of people had their opinions about Ben White, myself included. I mean, I was more when we was linked with him, I was more like, well, I don't really know about him.
Yeah.
And I was a bit like 50 mil for a defender. I don't really know. I was like, I don't know. Because I was more like, if we're going to spend 50 mil, you go and get Yves Bissouma, and obviously that didn't happen, unfortunately. But for the performances he's done last season, I mean, he definitely turned me around and thought, no, I've got to give this guy a chance. But this season now, oh my Lord. Listen, I was saying this to you the other day when he didn't get called up for England. I said, I don't care. Keep him here. He's playing very, very well.
Yeah.
Keep him
out
here.
of position. Yeah.
Out of position. Hell, take that position. Take it. You know what I mean? Because he's done so well, playing right back. It's not even his position, Tomiyasu was brought in to play right back. Hell, Tomiyasu's going to have to fight for that spot now. Cedric's going to have to fight for both of that spot. Yet, we can utilize, and the best thing about it even more, we can utilize Ben White right back and centre back. If
100%.
Comes to us, So, and he's just been consistent.
He's been excellent. He's been
excellent all season so far. I mean, I was going to say Tomiyasu paid, well, we did pay excellent today.
He
as
did
well.
really well. Really well.
Ben White, the form is just continuing. I'm happy, man. I'm bloody happy. That's all I can say about Ben White, man.
Yeah, no, you're right, brother. And I'll come back again about Ben White. I've seen certain YouTubers, for example, talking about when we was linked with him, for example. Maybe is he sure he's not just another Rob Holding? I'll have that conversation with you who said that, because I know who said it. Because it's on my channel when they said it. It's a long time ago now. Yeah, so if you want to listen, you want to do content waxing lyrical about Ben White, good luck to you. But just remember the fact that when we first got him, he wasn't on board. But you know what? People can change their mind. But like I said, for me, RJ, it's just a case of when you're ridiculing one of your own players, and you're saying, Joey Essex, all them kind of things. Like, come on, man. Let's be serious, bro. Like, he's a good footballer. He's shown pedigree at Leeds. He's shown pedigree at Brighton. Like, what more do you want? Did you expect him to come in and put in performances like Fabio Cannavaro? Like, I don't understand some of our fan base sometimes, mate. It's crazy. Like, the price we pay for him, football is overinflated anyway. It's like I said before. Is Harry Maguire worth 80 million? No, he's not. Is Ben White worth 50 million? No. Is Jack Grealish worth 100 million? We every football fan knows, whether you go to games or not, or watch football once a week or every day of the week, they're not worth that money. But that's not for you to worry about. You know what I mean? Ben White was a good purchase. Yes, we paid a little bit more than we wanted to pay for him, but listen, it's not knee jerk. I've said it on record, my thoughts about him before. So there you have it, people.
Hey, listen, I'll quickly come in and say this. I mean, I said it straight. I wasn't sure about it because I don't know about him.
Yeah.
And that's my honest opinion. I was willing to give him a chance. And I even said it on an episode of Weekly Surgery. I think it was around December time last year. I cannot remember. But even then I was like, you know what? He's impressed me. And I remember saying that. And I'm like, good. I just wanted to keep going. But I will say this. I feel like a lot of people just said, Ben White, they don't have a Scooby about him at all.
No.
50 mil, they're like, oh, bloody hell, it's 50 mil. And like you just said, with football, everything's inflated. Do you know what I mean? You hear good deals. And I mean, hell, we used to do very good deals back in the day. But those days are long gone, So, I mean, you might get lucky. But at the same time, it's like, this is the asking price Brighton wanted. Arsenal really wanted him. We paid it. And right now, he's doing wonders for us. So we just have to sit back and chill. Do you know what I mean? I mean, I don't really remember people crying when we paid How much was it for Saliba? Was it about 30, 35 mil?
About
Something
27
like
million,
that?
27 million euros.
27 mil, right.
Yeah.
Where did I get 35 mil? Maybe I was thinking about the Xhaka thing again. But even with that, like, I don't really remember a lot of people crying at that time. I know it was quite a long time ago, but I don't really remember that.
Yeah.
You know? So,
And we didn't know a lot
look
about
at
it.
Saliba now.
Yeah, it's amazing and brilliant.
He's amazing. Definitely the heartbeat of that defense right now, if I'm totally honest.
Yeah, 100%.
Damn.
But it's like I said, mate. Before we we're gonna wrap up, get sort of your player of the match. I said with the Arsenal's defense, because we've been as Arsenal fans we've been tortured by some of the players I've played in our defensive area for years, yeah, just they've had a season to bed in now. Last season, Saliba's come back in, and he's added even more structure and mentality to the defense. So I don't know. Is that my feedback? Is it? I can't even know. But I'm gonna come to you. I'm gonna mute myself and see if it's me. I'm not sure. But yeah, this defense has had another year to play together, and it's been excellent, to be honest with you, from what I've seen this season. Yeah, go back and come back in, man. You go back and come back in. Yeah, people, we're wrapping up soon anyway. I'm gonna get RJ back in quickly before I wrap up. But yeah, listen, man. I'm so buzzing, man. I had to do a quick match reaction after the game when we won today against Liverpool. And yeah, for me, like, don't get me wrong, like I said earlier in the stream, beating Tottenham is great and bragging rights. The old days of the Fergie and Wenger battles in Manchester United. Even the United game's still a big game, to be fair, whether it's home or away. But for me, as an Arsenal fan, for many, many years, I just love beating Liverpool. It hasn't happened many times. Today was a massive game, despite their form. They still got some very good players, as you saw, in particular the midfield area where they dominated possession for large periods. But so proud of the boys today, and it works. And as I said to RJ before he went, is that it's about making people sit up and take notice. I think they are now. But when you beat the likes of Liverpool in the way we did today, the way we started the game particularly, and the way we ended it, particularly when we went 3-2 up with the Saka penalty, we was excellent. And you know, Liverpool kind of, with some of the subs they made, they might be a bit questionable for some of the Liverpool supporters, but that's not our problem. But yeah, massively proud of the boys today, man. Let me bring RJ back in to finish up. RJ, you back?
I should be. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but I can't see you. It's all right though, man.
I don't know what's going on.
Well, we're gonna wrap up anyway, man. But yeah, who's your sort of player? I was saying about in terms of once Saka got the penalty, made it 3-2. We actually controlled the game very well, which I was really pleased with, to be fair. But yeah, who's your player of the match, my friend?
Oh, if I'm honest, it has to be my boy from the favelas, man. That guy is so excellent. Special. I mean, and it's very tough because he was the driving force behind us today. But again, like I did last time, a few honorable mentions. Tomiyasu, fantastic job marking out Mo Salah.
Yeah.
And also Ben White again, fantastic. And another shout out to Thomas Partey as well. I think his
second half,
it just showed, especially in the second half, it just showed how important he is. And I know Xhaka's become an important player for us as he's been on form. But with Partey there to like help out, and no disrespect to Sambi, I like Sambi a lot, but you can tell the difference in quality when Partey's there and when Sambi's there.
Yeah.
So again, we got to wrap up. We got to wrap him up like cotton wool, honestly. Or you know what I mean? And definitely, hopefully, we can keep Partey fit through January. But yeah, man, not to ramble on for so much. Martinelli, man, a match performance, and he deserved it anyways, man. He's just been phenomenal.
Yeah, 100%. No, I agree with you. More people in the chat said it because someone said Rancid said Sakanelli. Yeah, buzzing for Saka to get a couple today, man. Yeah, buzzing. But yeah, people, the match review has come to an end on this beautiful Sunday night. Top of the table, scoring loads of goals, good football, showing a lot of guts and a lot of character. and we're controlling games, and it's a good time to be an Arsenal fan at the moment. I saw Ian Wright's post, but this guy kills me. Man.
Yeah, I saw it.
I
love him, man.
I don't know if he's on match. I don't know if he's on. I don't know if he's on Match of Day 2 tonight, but Rancid, big up to Rancid in the chat. NS Sports TV, the people that jumped in. Doug, big up to you. Much love to you, brother. Clem Diggety's there. In Kenyezi, I know you're in. I forgot where you are. Not South. I think it might be South Africa. So much love to you too. Much love to you, bro, man. 100%. RJ, tell the people where they can find you, my brother, man. Thanks for coming on.
No problem. Anytime, man. Anytime. Guys, if you want to check me out, I will be making a video this week. So stay tuned for that. I will be back on my channel. I know it's been too long, but I've got to make some videos now. It's been a minute. But guys, subscribe to my channel if you can. Ryan Williams AFC. And of course, my Twitter handle was there below at RJ Wills. I'm here, man.
There you have it, people. So make sure you go and follow RJ. Me and RJ will reconvene with some more Instagram stuff in terms of time to talk Arsenal, which we will do. But audio listeners, you will get this on your Spotify and Anchor, so look out for that. Absolutely buzzing for today's win. Seriously, man, I don't understand. I think you guys understand. For me, when it comes to beating Liverpool, it means a lot, man. It really, really does. So people, like I said, subscribe to the channel, and like I said, enjoy the rest of your Sunday evening. But that is Albert J TV over and out, people. Arsenal 3, Liverpool 2. Come on, you guys.
Come on.